my friends. Welcome back to EduTalks. I'm Sophia. Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever felt that English is too difficult because there are just too many words? You try to learn, you open a book or a dictionary, and suddenly you see thousands and thousands of words, and your mind says, "This is impossible. How can I learn all of this?" Many English learners feel exactly the same way. And maybe you also believe that to speak English fluently, you must learn many difficult words, complex grammar, and long rules. But today I want to share something very simple with you, something that can completely change the way you learn English. The truth is, you do not need thousands of words to speak English. In fact, you can start speaking real daily English with just 521 simple words. Yes, just 521 words. Not advanced vocabulary, not complicated grammar, no teacher, just simple words used in a smart and practical way. And in this video, I will show you something very important. I will explain why English feels so hard for many learners, why most people follow the wrong method, and how you can use a small group of common words to speak English in your daily life. No stress, no confusion, just simple ideas that actually work. And one more thing, please focus on the subtitles on the screen because they will help you understand everything more clearly. All right, take a slow, deep breath, relax your mind, and let's begin. Part 1. Why English feels difficult. First, we need to understand one simple truth. Why does English feel so difficult for many learners? Most people believe the problem is vocabulary. They think, I cannot speak English because I don't know enough words. But this idea is not completely true. The real problem is not vocabulary. The real problem is the way you learn English. Let me explain this in a very simple way. English has thousands and thousands of words, but in real life, people do not use all of them. A normal person uses only a small group of common words every day. Words like I, you, we, go, come, eat, work, good, bad, happy, tired. These words are simple, but they are used again and again. This means something very important. Speaking English is not about knowing many words. It is about using simple words again and again in different situations. Think about a small child. Does a child learn a language by reading a dictionary? No. The child listens. The child repeats. The child uses simple words every day. Slowly, the language becomes natural. This is exactly how you should learn English, not by memorizing long lists, but by using simple words again and again. And this is where the idea of 521 words becomes powerful. These are common words that people use in daily life. Words like I, you, he, she. Verbs like go, come, eat, make. Adjectives like good, bad, big, small. Nouns like home, food, time, money. With just these simple words, you can create many sentences. For example, I go home. You go to work. We go to the market. The word is the same, but the situation changes. And this is how real communication works. Now, here is another important idea. Fluency does not mean using difficult words. Fluency means speaking smoothly without stopping too much. And this happens when your brain feels comfortable. When you try to use difficult words, your brain becomes slow. You stop. You think. You feel nervous. But when you use simple words, your brain feels relaxed. You speak faster and more naturally. This is why starting with simple words is very powerful. Simple words remove fear, and when fear goes away, confidence starts to grow. always remember this. English is not a test. English is a tool. You are not speaking to impress people. You are speaking to share your ideas. And the truth is, you do not need thousands of words to do that. A small group of common words is more than enough for daily conversation. So stop worrying about learning too many words. Focus on using the words you already know. Now that you understand this idea, something important becomes clear. You do not need more words. You need a better way to use those words. And this is where sentence patterns become very useful. Your brain loves patterns. When you repeat the same structure again and again, it becomes easy. You do not need to think too much. You just speak. And this is the beginning of real fluency. Simple sentence patterns. Now that you understand that you do not need thousands of words, we can move to something even more powerful. Sentence patterns. Patterns are the key to speaking English easily. When you learn a pattern, you do not need to create every sentence from zero. You simply follow the structure and change a few words. Let me show you some very simple patterns that you can use every day. These patterns are used by real people in real conversations. And once you learn them, you can create many sentences without learning new vocabulary. Let's start with the first pattern. Pattern 1. I want to. This pattern helps you talk about your wishes or what you would like to do. For example, I want to eat. I want to sleep. I want to learn English. I want to go outside. Do you see the idea? The structure stays the same. Only the last word changes. And suddenly you can express many ideas. Now let's look at the second pattern. Pattern 2. I need to. This pattern is used when something is important or necessary. For example, I need to work. I need to study. I need to rest. I need to call my friend. Very simple sentences, but very useful in daily life. Next comes pattern 3. I am going to. This pattern is used to talk about the future. For example, I am going to eat. I am going to work. I am going to learn English. I am going to watch a video. Again, the structure is the same and you only change the action. Now let's move to pattern 4. I like to. This pattern is used to talk about things you enjoy. For example, I like to read. I like to talk. I like to listen to music. I like to learn new things. This pattern is very helpful when you talk about your interests. And finally, pattern 5. I have to. This pattern talks about responsibility. For example, I have to work. I have to study. I have to wake up early. I have to finish my task. These are very common sentences that you will use again and again. Now stop for a moment and think about this. With just these 5 patterns and a few simple words, you can create hundreds of sentences. That is the power of patterns. You are not learning more words. You are learning how to use the same words in many ways. And here is why this works so well. Your brain likes repetition. When you repeat the same pattern again and again, it becomes automatic. You do not need to think about grammar. You do not need to remember rules. You just follow the pattern and speak. Many learners make a mistake. They spend a lot of time learning grammar rules, but they do not practice speaking. So the knowledge stays in the book. It never becomes real speaking. But patterns are different. Patterns go directly into your speaking habit. Let's try a simple example. Listen carefully. I want to eat. I need to eat. I am going to eat. I like to eat. I have to eat. Same idea, different patterns. Your brain starts to understand how English works naturally. If you practice like this every day, even for a short time, your speaking will improve. Slowly, your mouth becomes used to English. You stop translating in your head. You start speaking directly. This is the real goal. Not perfect grammar, not big vocabulary. Simple, clear communication using patterns. Daily speaking practice. Now that you understand sentence patterns, we need to talk about something even more important. Practice. Because without practice, nothing will change. You can watch videos every day. You can understand everything. But if you do not speak, your English will not improve. Many learners make this mistake. They listen, they read, they understand, but they stay silent. And silence does not build fluency. Speaking builds fluency. Your mouth must work. Your voice must be used every day. So here is a very simple rule. Every day, speak at least 5 sentences out loud. Not in your head, not quietly. Out loud. You need to hear your own voice. This is very important. Because language lives in your mouth, not only in your brain. Do not worry about making mistakes. Do not try to be perfect. Just speak. Simple sentences are enough. For example, I wake up early. I feel tired. I go to work. I eat food. I come home. These sentences are very simple, but they are powerful practice. Now let's talk about a simple daily plan. You do not need 1 hour. You do not need 2 hours. You only need about 10 minutes a day. But you must do it every day. Consistency is more important than time. 10 minutes every day is better than 1 hour once a week. Here is what you can do. Step 1, choose 10 simple words. Only 10. Step 2, create 5 sentences using those words. Keep them short and clear. Step 3, say those sentences out loud. Speak clearly. Do not rush. Do not think too much. Just speak. Now here comes an important step. Repeat those same sentences for 3 days. Yes, the same sentences. This is very important. Repetition builds something powerful inside you. Your mouth starts to remember the movement. Your brain becomes faster. Speaking becomes easier. There is also another method you can use. It is called shadowing. This method is very simple. You listen to a sentence. Then you pause. Then you repeat it. For example, you hear, I want to learn English. Then you say, I want to learn English. This exercise trains your listening, your speaking, and your memory at the same time. It is one of the best ways to improve your fluency. But remember, speak slowly. Do not try to speak fast. Slow speaking is clear speaking, and clear speaking builds confidence. Now let's talk about mistakes. Many learners are afraid of mistakes, but this fear stops progress. Mistakes are not bad. Mistakes mean you are trying. Every mistake helps you improve, so do not stop because of mistakes. Keep speaking. Here is one important rule. Never learn a word alone. Always learn it in a sentence. A single word is difficult to use, but a sentence is easy to remember and easy to speak. So always practice full sentences. Let me ask you something. Can you speak 5 or 10 sentences every day? Of course you can. And with your 521 words, it becomes even easier. Slowly, something will change. Your confidence will grow. Your fear will become smaller. And English will start to feel natural.
Fear and confidence. Now, let's talk about something very important. Something that stops many learners from speaking English. Fear. Fear is the biggest problem for most people. Not vocabulary, not grammar, but fear. Many learners feel afraid when they try to speak. They think, what if I make a mistake? What if people laugh at me? What if I say something wrong? These thoughts create pressure. And when there is pressure, your brain becomes tense. Your mouth stops. You cannot speak clearly. But here is something very important to understand. Fear does not come from English. Fear comes from your thoughts. When you try to speak perfect English, your brain feels stress. You try to remember rules. You try to use difficult words. And everything becomes hard. But when you use simple English, something different happens. Your brain feels relaxed. You use words you already know. You feel safe. And when you feel safe, speaking becomes easier. This is why using simple words like your 521 words is so powerful. They reduce pressure. They help you speak freely. Now let's talk about confidence. Many people think confidence comes from knowing a lot. But this is not completely true. Confidence comes from repetition. The more you repeat something, the more comfortable you feel. And when you feel comfortable, you become confident. Think about a child. A child speaks simple sentences. The grammar is not perfect. The words are basic. But the child speaks without fear. Why? Because the child is not thinking about mistakes. The child is just speaking. Adults are different. They think too much. They worry too much. They want to be perfect. And this stops them from speaking. So if you want to improve, you need to think like a learner, not like a perfectionist. Focus on speaking, not on being perfect. Now let's talk about people. Many learners worry about others. They think, people will laugh at me. But the truth is, most people respect effort. When someone sees you trying to speak a new language, they support you. And even if some people laugh, it does not matter. Your goal is not to impress them. Your goal is to improve yourself. Let me give you a simple exercise. You can try it today. Stand alone in your room. Speak 5 sentences about your day. For example, today I wake up early. I feel tired. I go to work. I eat food. I rest at home. Very simple sentences, but very powerful practice. Now repeat this every day. Slowly, you will notice something. Your voice becomes stronger. Your sentences become easier. Your fear becomes smaller. This is how confidence grows. Always remember this. Fluency does not mean speaking fast. Fluency means speaking comfortably. When you feel comfortable, you speak more. And when you speak more, you improve. Let me tell you one honest truth. You will never feel fully ready. If you wait for the perfect moment, you will wait forever. So start now. Speak now. Even with simple sentences. Even with your 521 words. Because English is not talent. English is not magic. English is a skill. And every skill grows with small daily practice.
Today you learned something very important. Yes, English has thousands and thousands of words. But you do not need all of them. Not even close. To speak English in your daily life, you only need the right words. And a small group of simple, high-frequency words like these 521 words can help you speak clearly and confidently. So please remember this. Do not wait for perfect English because perfect English does not exist. What truly matters is starting. Start with simple words. Speak slowly. Speak clearly. And most importantly, speak every single day. Even 5 simple sentences a day can change your English because language grows when you use it, not when you stay silent. Your goal is not to impress people with big vocabulary or perfect grammar. Your goal is to express your thoughts and ideas. And you can absolutely do that with simple English. You already have enough words to begin. You just need to use them. Now let me ask you one honest question. After watching this video, will you just move on or will you start practicing today? The choice is yours. If this video helped you even a little, please take 1 second to support EduTalks. Like this video, share it with someone who is struggling with English, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next lesson. Because here, with Sophia, we learn English in a simple, calm, and practical way. All right, my friend, before you go, take a deep breath. You learned something powerful today. English is not about many words. It is about using simple words with confidence. So starting today, use your 521 words and speak at least 5 sentences every day.